Okay. Hello everyone, and welcome to another session, another client masterclass, of course. So we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have an amazing time, as we know that we always do. And there are certain things we're gonna take a look at today. Most importantly, important things that we are going to take a look at today. Okay. So I'm just going to go through, just give us a sneak peek into what we are going to explore. Okay, while we wait for others to join in, and of course, so we before we go ahead, right? So everyone, so everyone is on the same page, and what we're going to be taking a look at on the topic that we are going to be treating today. And there's something equally exciting that we would also take a look at, and that's the Investment in Securities Act that was signed by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I'm talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So he signed an act this month. That's in the month of March, a couple of days ago, if I'm not mistaken. And the act actually has significance. It's very, very significant when it comes to you and I, when it comes to investment, when it comes to savings, and each and every one of those things. Okay, so it's related to what we're going to be taking a look at today, because of course, I'm sure you saw the flyer. We are going to be exploring beyond savings, how in digital assets are transforming the entire investment world. So take a look at that. We take a look at the fundamentals, because for me, I love breaking things down, as we already probably know if you've been in any one of my sessions before. And then we'll also take a look at what a special offer for you, because we have a special offer for you, and how you can be a part of all of that. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I'll pull up my screen. Just give me a moment. Okay, yeah. So we are taking a look at how savings, beyond savings, right? How digital assets are shaping the investment world. This is what we're going to take a deep dive into. And yeah, this is what we're going to begin with. But before I go ahead, I would like to talk about Kleinial, what we do, what we offer, what we are all about. Okay, so Kleinial is an edtech firm, and what we do is that we help you move from what you are doing at the moment into something we want to do. And what do I mean? We help you understand how the best way. Just give me a moment. Just gonna mute everyone. So just give me a moment. Just gonna mute everyone. Okay, great. So what we do is that we help you navigate the entire crypto space, the entire Web3 space, the entire Forex space. Because something that we understand, something that we've seen, something that I have experienced as well, is that when you're looking to invest, when you want to go ahead to purchase some coins, that's talking about crypto coins now, or you want to get into Forex, there's really no place that you can get the information you need. Now, what do I mean? If you go on Instagram now, or you go on LinkedIn now, or you go on Twitter, well, as it's now called X, all right? It's not called X. If you go on any of those platforms and you search for a place where you can learn crypto, all you see is the hype. You see some ads, some people telling you, oh, I got into crypto, I bought this coin, and I have 2 yachts, or I have 2 mansions. And if you know you want to be a big man, or if you know you want to make money as well, what you have to come get this course, or you have to buy this coin. It's all hype. You even hear things like you hear things like, okay, so if you are currently at the age of, let's say, 29, 30, 35, 40, and you have not been able to get 2 mansions, then you don't know what you're doing. You have to buy this coin, you have to do that. Those are the things we hear. We hear those kind of things daily, weekly, and that's really not the right way to learn crypto, because all of that is just the hype. But something that we don't understand, or something that these people do not understand, is that crypto, Web3, Forex, all of this is actually a kind of investment. And so that's the reason why we decided to start Kleinial, because I, for one, I actually fell prey to some of those people, okay, where I went ahead when I was looking to get into crypto, okay, I went ahead to purchase some coins, and I lost over 50% of the money that I actually used, right? Because there was no right education. All we got was, this is the new coin, this is the new coin, or just buy this. But there was no right education, right? So that's the reason why we decided that, okay, why don't we have this platform where everyone can get the actual knowledge. So it doesn't matter if you're age 25 or maybe you're 30, you're 35, you're 40, 45, 50. It doesn't matter. But there's this place where you can go and you will understand the basics, just like you are learning in the school, just like maybe you're trying to get a new skill, just like you're trying to transition into tech. Because of course, crypto, forex, web3, all of these are tech skills, and the skills are needed for you to be able to make the right investment. Okay, so that's the reason why we started Kleiner, and that is what we're all about. And a little bit about me, okay? I'm sure you've been wondering, who is this guy speaking? He has been speaking for a while. Who is he? Why should I listen to him? I'm Aisha Gunlahor, and I'm the founder of Kleinel, and I have experience ranging from different areas of tech. That's from data to power platform to different areas of tech. That's where I built my career, and I also have experience when it comes to Web3, crypto, and Forex as well. And like I mentioned, when I decided to get into this, I noticed that it was not easy to get into the space, and that's the reason why we started Kleinel. But moving on, enough talk. This is not the reason why we are here. There's something important. There's a reason why you're on this call at the moment. There's a reason why you are. Just give me a moment. Just mute. That's okay. So there's a reason why you're on the call at the moment, and that's to explore beyond savings, right? How digital assets are transforming the investment world. So we're done with this. Let's get into the main thing. But something that's very important for you to benefit the most from the session, for you to get your 100% from the session, and for you to have fun, most importantly, because something I believe is that adults don't have fun, and I think you should have fun. I'm talking to you, Akola, I'm talking to you, Ojonoga, I'm talking to you, Oluwashe, to you, Ogechuku, to you, Ayo. Okay, every single person on the call. It's very important that as adults you have fun. Probably if I ask, when was the last time you had fun? You can't remember. And I always say, if you have kids and you take your kids out, let's say you take your kids out to the park or you take your kids out to a fancy restaurant and you call that fun, that's no longer fun. That's just you parenting. Because when your kids are with you, what are you doing? You're telling them, oh, sit there, don't move. Oh, don't do this, don't do that. And that's parenting. So that's you not having fun. So now we're going to have fun. Okay, we're going to have fun. So for that to be the case, for you to get out of the session and for you to have fun as well, there's something that you have to do, something that's very, very important, and that is communication. Okay, you have to communicate, and the way that we communicate is by using the chat box, or by using the reactions as well. So when I ask a questions, or when I ask a question, or when you have a question, or when you want to give feedback, all you need to do, send your question or your feedback or your answers to the chat box, or you can use the reactions just like we did earlier. I saw I saw applause, right? Just like we did. So that's how we can communicate. That's how we should communicate. So just to test things out before we move from further, are we ready to go? If you know you're ready to go, you can either give me a reaction, a thumbs up, or you can send something to the chat box. Just let me know. Are you ready to go? Okay, so I need responses. Okay, fantastic. Okay, caller is ready to go as well. Okay, absolutely fantastic. That's good to know. Good to know that we're good to go, and that we are ready to go. So moving on. The first thing first, saving is great. Okay, saving is great, but if your money is not growing, then you're actually losing. This is something that we've probably heard, but we've not really thought about. Yeah, it's a common talk. It's a common fact out there that if you're just saving your money, you're just keeping your money in the bank, that at the end of the day, your money is not actually growing due to certain reasons. That if your money is not growing, then you're actually losing. And then you don't want to end up being like this individual, okay, that's probably saved, let's say, 5 million or 10 million naira in the bank, and right now he wants to use that money to purchase an item. Probably wants to build a house, so it wants to. Now a bag of cement is how much? I don't know, I think it's close to 10,000 naira. Okay, the last time I checked. So then he decided that, okay, this money I've been saving for the past 10 years, it's time for me to use this money and invest in a project and work on a project and choose something amazing. So when he took a look at the record, what he had at the bank, and when he took a look at the current reality of things were not aligning. And that's the reason why it's looking a bit dejected. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Saving is great, but if your money is not growing, then you are losing. We'll take a look at some other things. The facts I stated earlier. Let's explore it some more. Now, imagine you have $1 million in a savings account, and we all have a savings account, and we have some money in our savings account. Maybe you have a savings account or you have a current account. So it's either you have a savings account, a current account, or whatever kind of account you have, or maybe you have OPay. OPay is a savings account as well. Yeah, I think. Okay, so you have that as well. And in your account, you have a million naira, you have 500,000, you have 2 million, you have 10 million, you have a billion. And that's what is in your account today. And we know that banks give us interest. Okay, so when you save your money with the bank, they give you an interest. And quick fact, quick one, listen closely. The reason why banks give you interest is because they are actually investing your money. And so they are giving you an interest where it's basically they borrowed your money, use it for investment, and then when they've gotten their returns, they give you a percentage. That's the reason why you get a percentage at the end of the year. And something that you would realize is that the longer you have an amount of money in the bank without actually withdrawing, note, the longer you have an amount of money, let's say you have a million naira in the bank, if you do not withdraw even a single cent from that million naira for a whole year, at the end of the year, you get, let's say, a 5% increase, or maybe a 2% increase. Maybe you'll be giving 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira added. But the more you withdraw, so let's say you're just withdrawing to 2 days, the more you withdraw, the lesser the amount of interest you get at the end of the year. And the reason for that is, as you're withdrawing, your money is no longer with the bank for them to invest with. That's just a quick fact. I'm going to come back to that later on. I'll tell you the reason why, okay, why I mentioned that. But just a quick fact. That's just to show the power of investments. But we'll come back there. So the banks, you have a million naira in the bank. At the end of the year, the bank gives you a 5% interest rate. So with that 5% interest rate, you would now have 1,050,000. And that seems like a good deal. Oh, fantastic! I saved $1 million. And remember, you're not going to withdraw, because if you're withdrawing, the lesser your interest. Okay, so you're not withdrawing, kept $1 million in the bank, and you got a 5% interest rate. Fantastic! Absolutely, wow, mind blowing. But there's something that many people don't understand. There's something that many people do not realize, and what is that? The inflation rate. Nigeria has been in a staggering. The numbers when it comes to inflation for Nigeria has been staggering. And note, it's not only Nigeria. I know that we blame the government a whole lot. Yes, I understand. And the government here has a part to play, right? But when you take a look at the entire, world, you take a look at different countries. For example, talking about Canada, talking about the US, you'll see that inflation is actually a normal thing. Maybe not normal. Maybe the words I should use, or the phrase I should use, should not be that it is normal, but rather it is something that occurs often. So what is that telling us? You save your money, there's inflation, you get a 5% return from the bank, and so you get 1,050,000. But due to the inflation rate for in December last year was 34% in Nigeria. And so due to that inflation rate, you actually now have less money than you think you do. So it's still $1 million naira, or in this case, 1,050,000 due to the interest they gave you. It's still $1 million naira. You feel, oh, this is actually great. This is actually amazing. But take a look at the purchasing power of that amount of money you now have. You would notice that when you invested, scratch that, okay? When you saved at the start of the year, the amount of money you have now is actually lesser than what you had at the start of the year, even though it's now more because of the 5% interest rate, okay? Because of the 5% interest rate. Are we following? If you know you're with me, give me a thumbs up, okay? If you know you're following this analogy, give me a thumbs up. Are we together? Do you understand what's playing out right now? Remember, I talked about communication, guys. Oh, okay, maybe we don't know where the reactions are located. Okay, if you can't find the reactions, you can use the chat box, or if you are joined with your phone, okay, you'd see there's this option like more options, okay, and you see something like a smiley face, like an emoji. When you click on that, you see different reactions. So I need to see our reactions. I need to know we are following. If you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. Okay. If you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. So that's what is actually playing out right now. So everything I've said, we can take a look. Everything I've said can now leads to the fact that you need to invest in digital assets. You need to invest in digital assets. Stay with me. There are several kinds of investments, and we're going to explore everything today. Okay, we're taking things from this from the scratch, and we are building up there. So you won't get this anywhere else. Okay, we're not just going to tell you this is the coin to buy. That go buy this coin. No, we are adults. All of that is for I want to say Gen Z, but I think the latest now is Gen Alpha. All of that is for Gen Alpha. We are adults. We have responsibilities. We need to know where our money is going. We have to understand where our money is going. So invest in digital assets. Why? For certain reasons. Number one, higher potential returns. The returns that you will get from a bank, from saving your money, and the returns you will get from investing, you can't compare. At minimum, and I'm talking about conservative kind of investments, because we have the conservative, the moderate, the aggressive in terms of the risk factor. For conservative means that the potential of you losing money is next to 0%. Yes, there's still some risk, but it's very, very low. The minimum you will get from investing, okay, is at least 15% for that year. 15%. Banks are offering you 5% interest that year. When you invest in conservative, note conservative. When I say conservative, okay, just give me a moment so I get my pen. So when I say conservative, okay, now I'm talking about low risk. So even when you invest conservatively, you are sure of getting at least 15% returns at the end of the year. 15% of $1 million will be how much? That should be. It's been a while since I did maths. Okay, so you can do that calculation, but that should be around, I think, 850,000, if I'm not mistaken, added to your money. Remember, with low risks, so higher potential returns. And then when you start looking at the aggressive, the moderates, then you are seeing that, oh, you're now having higher returns. How you can invest and get 50% increase. But again, the more your returns, the more potential for returns, the higher the risks. I rephrase, the more potential for returns, the higher the risks. So you have higher potential returns. And then next we have protection against inflation. Protection against inflation. Stay with me. When you invest, let's say, for example, you get digital assets. Okay, you get digital assets, and let's say you trade in forex, and you purchase the dollar, or let's say you purchase the dollar or the yen, which is the Japanese currency, any of those currencies. And then I'm talking about forex now. That's foreign exchange, right? You're a foreign exchange analyst. When there's inflation in your country, so let's say there's inflation in Nigeria, because I believe most of the people on the call are Nigerians, right? When there is inflation, it doesn't affect the amount, because if you used 500,000 naira to get 5 yen, or you use 500,000 naira to get €5 or $5, and there's an inflation, let's say there's 20% inflation, 30% inflation, whatever the case may be, when you convert that, the currency you bought, when you convert it back to naira, you are not going to be getting 500,000. You'll be getting close to 700,000, 800,000. That means that you are protected against inflation. The amount of things your 500,000 could originally buy, that money will still be able to get what it could get, because now it's going to be at least 700,000. So let's say before, when you used 500,000, a bag of cement you could buy 100 bags of cement for 500,000. And I'm using practical examples now, so because we are adults, right? So not just this currency that, so we understand perfectly. Okay, so let's say you have 500,000. 500,000 can get you 10 bags of cement, and then you went ahead to invest. Then there was inflation. Now, for you to get 10 bags of cement, you have to spend 700,000. When you're a foreign exchange trader, for instance, and you convert your currency back to naira, what will you be getting? You'll be getting 700,000 naira, and so that 700,000 naira can still get the kind of products it could have gotten earlier. And I'm not even talking about the additions that will be added to your investments. No, I'm not talking about the additions. I'm just talking about, let's assume that there's no increase. That's what protection against inflation is all about. That is what it means. That is what it's talking about. And then we have opportunity for passive income. Passive income is very, very important. For most of us, we have our 9 to 5. We have a 9 to 5. I, for one, I have my own, I have my own organization. I have my own company, something that we are running. Okay, so technically, that's my own 9 to 5. Okay, so everyone has their 9 to 5, but something that we probably already know is that 9 to 5 is not enough for you to be able to get to that point where you want to get to. There's this stat that says that 100%, the most wealthy individuals, and pardon me, my figures might be a bit skewed. Okay, it might be a bit skewed, so just pardon me. But the most wealthy individuals in today's world, 75% of them are entrepreneurs. Just give me, I think I'll write this down so we can take a look together. Okay, so in today's world, the most wealthy people, 75% are entrepreneurs. And like I said, the values might be a bit skewed. I know it's around this range, okay? So, but you can check it out. I know it's around this range, but it might be a bit skewed. So 75% entrepreneurs, and then we have 15% investments, people that invest. Then we have, I think, 2% athletes, athletes, celebrities, all of those guys, the celebrities, right? Your athletes, that's people that play sports, and 2%, right? And then the other, that's about, so at the moment we have 92%. So the other, we have the other 7%, that's what's left, is actually from those that inherit it. So 7%, please, yes, this should be 7% inheritance. And pardon my writing, okay? Yeah. So I believe this should give you 100%. So 75% entrepreneurs, 15% investment, 2% athletes, and 7% inheritance, people that had wealthy parents. Nowhere here would you see someone working a 9 to 5. Now, don't get me wrong, 9 to 5 is great. I'm not saying you quit your job, okay? Because something 9 to 5 would offer you is stability. You know that at the end of the month you're going to get something, and that's very, very important. So don't get me wrong, but over here you see that people that become so wealthy, like they have so much money. I'm not saying people that are living comfortable life. 9 to 5 will give you, depending on the 9 to 5 really. Okay, so a reasonable 9 to 5. I use the word reasonable because we understand the current economy and the current situation of things. A reasonable 9 to 5 will give you that ability to live a comfortable life. But it's not going to put you up there. This research was not carried out by me. You can actually do your research and you find these figures. So if you're looking to be able to spend, I'm not saying become Dangote now. Yeah, you could be Dangote, okay, or Elon Musk, and that's great. But let's not talk about Dangote, because then it might be like, oh, we're trying to be unrealistic. But let's talk about things that are more driven to home. If you want to be able to get, let's say, purchase maybe 2 parcels of land or 2 parcels of land, or you want to be able to get 2 cars, or you want to be able to eat whatever you want. One of the driving forces for me, and this is my personal stuff, okay? And this session is recorded. I usually don't like this being out there, but I'm gonna share it with you guys, okay? Since you're on the call right now, I will share this with you guys. One of the personal things for me that drives me to, work harder to try to make money is to be able to eat whatever I want. I want to be able to eat whatever I want. And to a very large extent, I would say I've been able to accomplish that. Okay. I want to be able to go to a restaurant and just say, oh, I feel like eating this, eating this, eating this. So if that is what you're looking to do and whatever motivates you, investment is something that you want to look out for, because it is something we get offered. You want to ensure that your money is working for you. But let's take a look at some more facts and figures. Okay, let's take a look at some more facts and figures. This is the report from the Central Bank of Nigeria, and there are lots of information. There's a lot of information on my slides today. Okay, so if you need access to the slides and you want access to the slide, the recording of this session, all of this, ensure you fill the form that has been sent to the chat box by my colleague. Okay, so please just click on that link and it will open up a form. Fill the form so that the recording of the session, the slides, all of this will be sent to you. Okay. All right. So please ensure you do that. Now, a report from the Central Bank of Nigeria. This is not ISIS saying this. No, this is from CBN. And once you get access to the slides, you can click on this. And this is slide is linked to the full report. So you can click on this to read the full report. The Central Bank of Nigeria released the inflation figures for the last 3 months. That's December last year, January, and February. And from this, we can take a look at this. For example, food. We know food right now is very, very expensive. If you take a look at food, you see that in February, that's last month, we had a 22% inflation. Let me tell you, sometimes I don't think we understand the meaning of inflation. Inflation means that the price of goods are increasing. When the federal government says that, oh, this month we had a 15% decrease in inflation, or this month we only had 3% inflation, oh, this month we are doing very well, we had just 2% inflation, or we were able to decrease, this is the word they use so much, we're able to decrease inflation by 20%. That does not mean that the price of goods have reduced. No, it only means that the price of goods were not increased for that month. Inflation means an increase in price. When you have a decrease in price, you're talking about deflation. So when the federal government says that this month we only had 5% inflation, that means that the price of goods only increased by 5%. So that does not. So that shows that it's still bad. Yes, it might not have been as bad as the previous month when we had a 40% increase, but it's still bad. So previously, let's do some calculations. Okay, let's do some calculations. Let's say in January, the price of something was 20 naira, and then we had a 40% increase. Okay, we had a 40%, or let's say a 50% increase. We had a 50% inflation. That means that this would now be 30 naira. 50% increase. Now, for this new month, CBN comes out and say, oh yeah, we were able to reduce inflation this month by what? By 20%, or we're able to reduce inflation by 30%. That means that we still have an inflation rate of 20%, because they reduced it by 30%, but we still have an inflation rate of 20%. And that means that this 30 naira would still be increased by 20%, meaning that that's a particular item that might now be sold 35 naira, 36 naira, thereabouts. So it's still increasing, just that the rate of increase is now small. So people might not really notice it, but today if you go to the market and you say, okay, maybe 100 naira has been added instead of the original 2,000 naira was just added immediately. You get. So that's the situation. That's what inflation is all about. So when they're saying we're able to reduce inflation, it does not mean that the price of goods are coming down. No. Are we together? If you know you're with me, give me a reaction, okay? Or maybe we should end the session right now. I don't know. Okay, if you know you're with me, give me some reaction. I need to know that we are following. Okay, thank you very much, caller. Okay, Ojonugo, I don't think I've gotten any reaction from you. All right, so I need reactions. I need to know that we are following. James, David, Kingsley, Jorge Maro. Okay, just let me know they are following. Okay, fantastic. Good to know we are following. So that is the situation of things, and this is the report from the CBN. Like I said, you can once you get access to the slides and you click on this link, it will take you to CBN website, and so you see the inflation rate for the month of for February. We had a 22% inflation rate overall. For January, we had 24%, and for December, we had 15%. But when you take a look at food and some other items, for example, for food, when you take a look at the 12 months change, you see that we had a 37% increase in price of food in December, and then a 36% increase in January. And then in February, we had a 34% increase. So this increase is usually coming from the supply, from supply and tariffs and all of that. But this is the situation. Again, this is not, I'm not the one that came up with this. I didn't just go to one corner and pull up these numbers. It's from the CBN website. So this is the federal government showing you that this is it. And once you get access to the slide, just click on this. It will take you straight to the CBN website, and then you can read the entire publication. Okay, and I will advise you to read that so you understand the situation of things, because so many people do not understand. All right, so that's the situation. And then moving on, we now have the International Securities Act, the ISA Act. It was signed into law by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just today, or was it yesterday? I don't know. If it was not today, it was yesterday. If it was not today, it was yesterday. And these are things that you can check out online. Maybe it should be trending on Twitter already. I don't know. But we can go on X, okay, and search for ISA Act 2025. And what the president has done is that he has tightened investment. The ISA actually means Investment and Securities Act. Investment. So it's an act that's talking about investment and savings when it comes to the Nigerian economy. Okay, it's an act that talks about what investment and savings when it comes to the Nigerian economy. And what are you seeing right now? What can you say right now? What we're seeing right now is that from this I'm just going to summarize. It's a long term. Okay, the act is very, very long. But what we're interested in, what I wanted to focus on, is just on this aspect. So that's what we're focusing on in this session. But once you get access to the slides, again, ensure you fill that form. Okay, the form that has been sent to the chat box. Ensure you fill that form. So once you fill the form, you get access to the slides, and you can read up on all of this. It's a long read. You get to understand everything that has to do with investment and how it influences you. But let's take a look at something. The Nigerian government has finally recognized digital assets. I don't think we understand. I don't think we understand what this means. Okay, I don't think we understand what this means. The Nigerian government has finally recognized digital assets. This is a report that is out there. This is not me. As we're on this session right now, take out your phone and browse ISA Act 2025. I think it's already in Business News. That's Business News newspaper. And in some other publications as well. So in Trust, if you follow the Trust news, it's there. So let's say from tomorrow, other news outlets will come, because we carry the news, because it's very, very recent, right? But like I said, check out some of these things. I love people cross-checking. Don't just take my word for it. So it doesn't seem like, oh, this guy is just saying things. No, do your research. And once you get access to the slides, click on this link. It will take you to the website where you read on all of these things. So the federal government, with this ISA Act 2025, the last time the last time this act was reviewed was in 2007. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has now reviewed the act. The last time the act was reviewed was 2007. This was like years ago. That's like 12, 15 years ago. So the act was reviewed this month, and it's March. It's either yesterday or today. I'm not really sure now, but I know it's not more than yesterday. Okay, so I just got the alert where I get my news, and I did my research, and I saw that it was true. I also saw when the president was even signing and all of that. So it's fantastic news. And when you read up on this, okay, you see that for the first time, Nigeria legally recognizes virtual digital asset for the first time ever, like cryptocurrencies, as securities. In other words, crypto assets and platforms are now under the SEC's regulatory purview. The issue the federal government had with crypto and digital assets for a while now was that they could not really you can't tax, they could not tax it, you couldn't control it, so things like that. But now with this new law, businesses can register, businesses that deal in crypto, probably they use crypto for their in terms of their stocks, or maybe in terms of purchases, like you can or they help you out with virtual investments. So maybe like a business, maybe a company that you can go to buy crypto from in terms of exchanges and all of those things. So now they can register with the SEC. Okay, so now there are laws guiding them, and that's what the ISA Act carries. And this change brings clarity to the status of cryptocurrencies, an area that was previously in a legal gray zone. So who if the federal government is and something that everyone has been saying, something that we all think the federal government's all about is that, oh, they don't like change, there's this, they don't like doing things, they don't like change, all of those kind of stuff. And I don't think anyone would have believed that this would ever be the case. I don't think anyone would have believed that this would ever be the case. But here we go. Here it is. And what this has just done, it has strengthened digital asset investment. That's talking about your cryptocurrencies, and of course your being a forex trader. Forex was always controlled by the federal government, and when I say forex, I'm talking about the stock exchange part of forex. But now they've also been able to bring in cryptocurrency in as well. So before, no one knew if cryptocurrency was a crime or not. They never said it was a crime. They just banned some things. But now it is now stated clearly that, oh, you investing in this, it's not a crime. Even a business can go register with the federal government of Nigeria. So please, we'll not be able to go through the full thing today because we don't really have time on this session. So once you get access to the slides, click on that link. Just click on the link. Read up the entire thing. Take it to the website. Read up the entire thing. Check out all of this news online, okay? And you see what I'm talking about. So, like I said, it contains so many things, but I just want to highlight this particular area. Now, moving on. Why? What are the risks, right? What are the risks? Because we've said so much. We've said so many things about crypto, about digital assets, but what are the risks? Because there are risks involved. It's an investment. There is no investment without risks. Every investment comes with risks. It's either it is conservative, it is what's moderate, or it is aggressive. Conservative means that, okay, you have a little chance of what's losing your money. Moderate means, aggressive means that, oh, it's very, very volatile. It's easy to make so much money, it's easy to lose so much money. And the moderate is just at that in the middle. Everything has risks. Every investment has risks. If you invest in stocks, let's say you buy shares from a company. For some of us on the call, I'm sure we invest in shares, right? You've probably bought shares from MTN. There was a time when MTN was selling shares, I think ₦5 per share. I think it was a very big thing then. And then maybe you have Coke shares, or maybe you even invest in the US stock market, from Tesla to Nvidia. People that invested in Nvidia are millionaires right now. Nvidia stocks, I don't know if you guys know Nvidia, but guys, investment is the way. Saving is good, but investment is the way. We're going to explore all of that. So everything has risks. So if you buy shares, let's say you go buy shares from Dangote, or you buy shares from UBA or Zenith Bank, all of these Nigerian companies. When the company makes money, you make money, and when the company loses money, you lose money. So if the company starts losing money, let's say before the company was worth was worth 1 billion naira, and you went to buy shares. If the company is worth 2 billion naira, your shares would also increase by what? By 100%. And then if the company is now worth, let's say something happens to the company, things were not going well, and then their worth drops to what, to 5 million naira. That means your the amount of money you invested would also be reduced by 50%. So as the company is doing well, your shares are doing well. If it's not doing well, it's not doing well. So that's an investment, and that's an investment that many of us partake in. But there's also risks. The reason I'm talking about this is so we understand that there's risks in every kind of investment. Even if you're investing in real estate, there's risks attached. Because but for real estate, you have what's called conservative risks. What is conservative? When you buy a piece of land, the chance of you losing your money is very, very low. But then for you to get money from conservative risks, you have to spend a lot of time. An example of conservative risks, another example is the S&P 500. If you deal with the US stocks as well. If not, if you are into if you deal with the Nigeria Stock Exchange and the markets and all of that, let's say you buy mutual funds. That's an example of what conservative risks. Conservative risks being that the likelihood of you losing your money is low, but for you to make decent money, you have to leave your money for a long period of time. Same for real estate. Let's say you buy a piece of land. You buy a piece of land, the chance of you losing your money is very, very low. Okay, the chance of you losing your money is very, very low. You understand that? But then for you to make significant returns, you have to give time, because you have to give time for the area to be developed, maybe houses to be built, for the area to be developed. So you have to give time. So let's say maybe 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever the case might be, for you to not get significant returns from your investment. That's the situation. And then the risks involved in real estate is that, let's say you go buy land in an area that is waterlogged. You didn't know, but something happened, climate change, all of those things, the area is waterlogged. You know that if you bought that land, let's say maybe you bought the land when the land wasn't really, let's say you bought the land maybe 15 million, and then the place becomes waterlogged, you know that amount of money is going to reduce, because whoever is buying that land from you will have to do some waterproofing stuff and all of that. Or let's say you go buy land from a place that is susceptible to gully. And what is gully? Where you start having, that's gully erosion, where you start having the land breaking and you just have like some breaks on the road, and the as time goes by, the charging increases. I'm sure we are familiar with gullies. I'm sure we've seen gullies, right? So that's also an investment risk. So that means that when you are buying land, you have to know, you have to do your due diligence. You have to understand that, oh, this way I'm buying land, and I believe that this place is going to be developed in the next 10 years, the next 15 years, and that's it. So that's conservative risk. The chance of you losing your money is low, but for you to get benefits, you have to spend time. That's conservative. So everything has risks. Then what are the risks when it comes to digital assets? Number one, you have why you leverage increased profits also magnifies losses. The more chance that you have of making, not quick, but the more chance you have of doubling your returns, the more chance you have of losing, or let's say I'm going to use this word in quotes, halving your investment. And then another thing is that prices fluctuate, and block trades can lead to losses. So let's say you decided that you took a look at the market and you saw, okay, I think this would happen, and then you went ahead to invest, you went ahead to trade, but the trade did not go your way. And then what would happen? You make losses, you lose some money. And one other thing, when talking about Forex is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It requires learning and experience. Some people think Forex or crypto, that it's all you just need to do is download maybe Binance, or download what others apps. Okay, you download the apps and then you put money and buy coin, and then you go to sleep, and then the coin will become times 500 tomorrow, and then you've made money. No. When you take a look at tech, there are some things that you take a look at. When you take a look at technology, everyone is like, I want to get into tech, I want to get into tech, I want to get into tech, right? Some aspects of tech, we have cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a part of tech. You have Forex, that's also a part of tech as well. So for you to succeed in tech, you need the skills. To succeed in tech, you need the skills. Okay. All right. So it's not a get rich quick scheme. Anyone that tells all those ads that you see on Instagram, and someone will just, show you, they're usually on a boat. That's what I love about those ads. They're usually on a boat. So they're on the boat, maybe they're on a boat and just driving the boat and like, oh, I bought this. I bought two of those boats in just 2 weeks, and all I had to do was buy this coin, buy this coin. And what I need from you right now, join my community, and I'll show you how you can make this money. And I'll that's that is not the way it works. That is not the way it works. Most of the people that end up joining that end up falling for that, they don't end up getting that passive income that they were looking for, because again, it's a skill and you need to learn. But what are the different steps? So now that we understand that, okay, we've taken a look at the fact that digital asset, it's great for you to invest in, because saving alone will not cut it. Saving alone will not cut it. That does not mean you should save, because something that we are also going to take a look at is having a robust portfolio. But I will get there. Having a portfolio, I will get there. Okay, just stay with me. I got you. We're having an amazing time, I believe. Okay, just stay with me. So, but how do we help you to succeed? How do we help you to succeed? Because you want to get into the space. That's the reason why you join the community. That's the reason why you saw the ad and clicked. You want to get into the space, but you need the right knowledge. You want to be able to succeed. You want to be able to go out there and have another income stream while you're having your 9 to 5. Your 9 to 5, with your 9 to 5, you know that okay, at the end of the month, money is going to come in, and you're going to be able to provide for yourself, or you're going to be able to provide for your family. And you also want to have that thing by the side that you know that even if I don't depend on 9 to 5, I know that I'm going to get money from there. So how do you succeed? How do you get to that point? Because it's not just go and download Binance or go and download Octa Trading. I'm sure everyone has seen Octa Trading. Okay, go and download Octa Trading. That is not it. That's just a way to lose money. If you have too much money, and that was the trap I fell in earlier. Remember, I told you that when I got into crypto and all of that, I went ahead to invest because I had a lot of money. Excuse me. Okay, I had a lot of money. Okay, because like I said, I've been in tech and all of that, so I had a lot of money. I had money to spend, and I was like, okay, why don't I go ahead and invest? Why don't I go ahead and invest? And I said, okay, why don't I invest in crypto? I lost 50% of the amount of money. Excuse me. Okay, I think I need to take some water. Okay, so about that, everyone. So I lost 50% of the amount of money I actually did invest. Okay, that actually did invest. So I lost a lot of money. And so that's the reason why I said, okay, so I don't want this to be the case for each and every one of you. I don't want this to be the case for you guys. And don't want this to be the case for others, especially people that are, mid-20s, mid-30s, late mid-40s, not just the Gen Z, because the Gen Z is all about the hype, but people that really want a second stream of income. Okay, how then do we help them? And that's the reason why we started Kleiner. So now, what's the 6-step strategy? What's the strategy that would take you from the point that you are currently at to that point where you can say, okay, yes, I have another stream of income in addition to my 9 to 5? What is that? Simple. The first thing first, number one is that you have to identify the path for you. You have to know, do you want to get into crypto or do you want to get into Forex? Because they are two different things. And I would explain what they mean. I would explain what Forex is and what crypto is. But for now, know that they are two different things. So the first thing first is that you have to identify the path. You have to identify the path for you. You have to know, do you want to get into crypto or do you want to get into Forex? That's number one. Identify the path. And then what's number two? Number two is that you then have to learn the skills. You have to learn the skills. You have to learn the skills. You have to understand what is technical analysis. You have to understand what is fundamental analysis, what is taken, what is used. You have to know how to work with different tools, such as your DEX screener. You have to know how to work with tools such as your trading view, such as your coin market cap. You have to understand how to work with tools such as your MT4, your MT5. All of these things are technical skills. These things are technical skills. Technical skills. It's not just go and download this app and start trading. No, they are actually applications, that they're actually tools that you need to work with, because it is a tech skill. So you learn the skills and you learn well. You learn in the classroom. You're not learning in a Telegram call, whereby they call on Telegram and then you join and they're telling you to do it. No, that is not how you learn. You learn in the classroom. When you're in a session like this, you're with the facilitator, you're asking questions, you are testing things out, you are learning, you're asking questions, you're carrying out practices, you are using the tools, you're learning how to actually work with these tools. When you have a classroom where all the sessions are recorded, so you have the session recordings for maybe you missed the class, you have to go through the recording of the class. You have a community, you have that you can ask questions, and you have that direct access to the facilitator. You have an entire organization that is here to help you. So that's the second thing you do, you learn the skills. And then after learning the skills, what's the next thing? The next thing you do is that you have to have practice simulations. You have to have what? Practice simulations. And when I say practice simulations, I mean testing things out. So you've learned the skills, you know how to use the tools. Okay, now come out, trade crypto, or come and trade forex without any risks. Because the reason it's called a practice simulation, you're not putting your money in, so you can do whatever you want to do. You can test all of the tests, you can decide to predict whatever market you want to predict. It's like you are trading, because it follows the same market trend. So let's say for the practice simulation, you decide that, okay, I want to go with this trade, and then you go ahead, you log that in, and tomorrow you make a profit. That means that if you had done that same trade in the real world, that you invested real money into that, you will make a profit. But because it was a practice simulation, you're not gonna make a profit, of course, but you are just practicing, so you can make all of the mistakes you want to make, so you can see what actually works and then replicate that. So that's what you also need to do. Practice simulations where you don't have any risks. You're not investing money. So since you're not investing money, you're not going to get money if you actually get the trade right, and you're not going to lose money if you actually don't get the trade right. So practice simulations, very, very important. Very, very important. You don't just want to get in there and just start losing money, because that's what I call it. You've just been losing money, not making money. So you want to practice simulations. And then what's the next thing you do? The next thing is that you have to gain the trade psychology and risk mastery. For you to actually be able to succeed in this, space, it's not just about you knowing the skills. Remember, I talked about learning the skills. Okay, so you learn the skills, you practice simulations. You also have to gain trade psychology and risk mastery. You also have to gain trade psychology and risk mastery. That is what would actually ensure that, okay, now that I know the skills, now that I know how to work with these different tools, now this is how can I now position myself rightly in the markets to ensure that I actually have a passive stream of income, and not that I have a passive stream of losing wealth, where you have a pit, and that's where all your money is just going, you're just losing money. No. So you need things such as being able to have one-on-one sessions with experts. When I say one-on-one session, I actually don't mean a one-on-one session. I'm not saying a call where there's so many people. I literally mean a one-on-one session. So you can book a session with an expert, and then you jump on a call, just you and that person, and then you're asking questions. Okay, this is my situation. What do you think I should do? How do you think I should manage my portfolio? What should I invest in? How should I go about this? Because it's just you and that person, so you can say whatever you want to say when it comes to your finances, and get help, advice. Okay, and then you have the live trading analysis. The live trading analysis, this is where, so you've learned the skills, you've practiced simulations, now you want to start trading. So while you're trading, you get to join trading sessions with experts, right? People that are day-to-day traders. So they are trading, or they are buying currency, or they are doing something, and then you are seeing what they are doing, and then you are putting ideas together. So the facilitator can be like, oh yes, so I saw this happen in the markets today. I saw that Elon Musk or did this, or maybe Elon Musk tweeted Dodge. Remember, I don't know if you guys knew about Dogecoin, right? Elon Musk tweeted Dodge, and I can tell you for a fact, I'm pretty sure Dodge is going to increase, and so I think we should do this. And then you would also tell the facilitator, oh yes, I noticed that, but I also saw this, and since I saw this in the news, or maybe you saw that there was a reduction in oil prices, or that, oh, I noticed that the Japanese government is currently doing this, and because of this, I feel it's going to have an effect in this particular aspect of the industry, and so I feel we should go this way. You're putting ideas together, because not one person knows everything. Everybody loses money. Let me tell you that everybody loses money. So nobody would just be, so anyone that tells you that they trade or they buy crypto and they're always making profit, that's a lie. But what you want to get, what you want to ensure you achieve is you want to make more profits than losses. Because when you make more profit than losses, you're actually making money. And that's why you have people that their day to day, they have retired their 9 to 5, and what they just do on a day to day is trade, because they have been able to make, because now what they're doing is that they are making more profit than losses. That does not mean they're not making losses. So in this session, you get to talk about your ideas. The facilitator gets to talk about their ideas. So you guys come together, and every other person on the call, okay, what do you think is the right path to go? And then everyone decides if you want to follow the conclusion, or if you want to do yours. And that's what the life trading analysis is talking about. Then you have navigating financial investment. Having a portfolio is great. There are different ways you can invest. It's not only in digital assets. So you want to be able to speak with finance experts. Okay, finance experts, people that understand investment, probably investment bankers, all of those things. You want to be in a call, a session with them, so they tell you, okay, this is the best way to split your assets. For me, there's a formula I follow, and maybe I can share with you guys. When you have like 100% of your income, okay, 100% of your income, you want to ensure that you have a diverse portfolio, that all your money is not going on one point. You want to have savings. I know I've talked about savings a lot, that savings is this, savings is that, okay, but you want to have savings. Very, very important. You want to save your money in a traditional bank. Okay, but what your savings should be like. So let's say you have 100% income, right? 100% of your income. You want to invest, let's say, 25%. You want to put, let's say, and this is just my own analogy. Okay, I'm just coming up with this. I'm not saying this is the standard or this is what you must follow. Okay, so disclaimer: this is just my own opinion. Okay, so 100%. You want to put let's say 50% to your needs and wants. Your needs and wants. That's so you have to pay house rent. You have to pay your house rent. You have to buy food. You have to, take care of your spouse. All of those things. Your needs and wants. 50% of your income should go into that. So if maybe you are staying in a place, you're staying in the house that one thing that I also believe that you should follow. If you are staying in a place, maybe you don't have your own house, you are renting, right? And you're staying in a place that the yearly salary is greater than 2 months of your salary. So 2 months of your salary combined. 2 months of your salary combined, you cannot pay the entire yearly rent. Please move somewhere else. Try to move somewhere else. I understand it's not difficult, but just try to move somewhere else. You want to ensure that 2 months of your salary can cover your 1 year rent. That's just something. So that's just a nugget, by the way. So the 50% needs, 50%, you have your 50%, 50% needs, 50% goes to your needs, and then for your wants, okay, your 50% goes to your needs and wants, and then you can put 25% into savings. All right, 25% into savings, or let's say maybe 20% into savings. Then maybe another 5% can go into your high yield interest savings account. That's for emergencies and all of that. And then you can put your maybe 25% or whatever into investing in digital assets and in other kind of investment that has some risks to them, and that you also have opportunities of making large returns. So you have to understand how to navigate through financial investment, how to position yourself rightly so your income, you can make most of use of your income as much as possible. And that's why you also need to have these kind of sessions. Where people that have knowledge of this come in and tell you that, oh, this is what I think works, this is what I think works. And of course, at the end of the day, it still depends on you if you want to follow the advice or not. Okay, at the end of the day. But you want to listen to people, experts, people that have tried this out, tell you about what they've done and how you can go about that. And of course, mentorship. All of these things is what would help you in getting that trade psychology and risk mastery that would add to your other 50% for you to be able to what? For you to be able to succeed in crypto, in Forex. And moving on, you also need to network and have a great portfolio. Your portfolio is talking about your investment portfolio. Like I just gave a brief explanation of that. Okay, you want to invest in different areas, and then your networking. Okay, you also want to ensure you're networking. You want to be in a place, you want to be in a community with like-minded individuals. No, I say community with like-minded individuals. I'm not saying a community with Sigma bros. When I say Sigma bros, I mean those I'm not trying to throw shade on the Telegram communities, but you're in the Telegram community and all you see is oh, this is how I made 500 million, and this is how I made this, or this is my signal, nobody is really, it's just like, oh, Gen Z, nobody is really there that understands your day-to-day, that is actually in the same situation you are in, that's trying to make it. So you want to ensure that you are in a community that, okay, yes, we understand the situation. We are both of similar, situation. Oh yes, I'm currently 30 years old. You are 26. Or you're 40 years old. Oh yes, we have families. I have my 9 to 5. We are trying to see how we can do best. So we bring good ideas together. Maybe this person saw that, oh, I saw this news, I think this is what we do. Then tell you, I think we should do this. And then you guys find ways to make that money together. And not just someone saying, oh, this is the signal, and just put signal, and then you don't understand what's going on, and they tell you, oh, this is the new coin, go and buy this coin, right? And they go and buy the coin and you lose all of your money. No. So you want to ensure that you're networking, you're in a great community, a community that makes sense. So that's it, and that's another thing that you need to do. Remember, that's we have talked about strategy 1, strategy 2, 3, 4, and then this is 5. And then lastly, after you've done all of these things, you then become let me just take off my okay. So once you've done all of these things, you then become an expert and you get another stream of income. And as things go well, you can even decide to just focus on that fully, if that's what you want to do. So this is what you do. This is a 6-step approach. How you move from step 1 to step 2 to step 3, 4, 5, and eventually get to step to that point. So moving on. Who is a forex analyst? Because I've talked about oh, okay, digital asset, this. But really, who is a forex analyst? Because if you don't understand what something means, then how can you even get into that? Okay. But many of us, okay, we know we want to get into digital assets, but we don't even know what is forex, and that's fine. That's why Claudio is here. Okay, that's why Claudio is here. We break all of these things down. So, who is a forex analyst? Who is a forex analyst? What does it mean to be a forex analyst? Simple. Let's take a look. A forex analyst is like a weather forecaster. No weather forecaster. People that tell you that, okay, it's going to rain today, tomorrow it's not going to rain, or today is going to it's going to be sunny, tomorrow it's not going to be sunny, right? It's like a weather forecaster, but for currency markets. So it's like just like the weather forecaster will tell you that today is going to rain. A forex analyst will tell you that today I believe that dollar will go up. Or today, I believe Naira will go up. Naira, I'm not going to say I believe Naira will fall. No, Naira, it's not only fall. We want the Naira to go up as well. So today, I believe the Naira will go up. Or tomorrow, from what I've been seeing, from what I've been taking a look, I've seen. I think that for example, during the Russia-Ukraine war, right? After the Russia-Ukraine war, you saw, okay, so Russia has invaded Ukraine. And the EU has started to Europe, the US, many countries have now placing sanctions on Russia. What does that mean? We're going to have a drop in I've forgotten the currency that Russia uses. I've forgotten the currency that Russia uses now. But now we're going to have a drop in that currency. And then based on that information, you know how you're going to trade to make money from that. Because you can make money when currencies are going down, when currencies are going up. So that's what a forex analyst does. A forex analyst focuses on what? On currency, real life currency, like money. There are euro, cedis, franc, uh, pounds, real life currencies. And then in forex, you also have stocks as well. That's dealing in stocks, but they are usually focused on currencies and stocks. So things that are controlled by our companies, things that are controlled by organizations, by countries, because the Nigerian government controls naira, the US government controls dollars. So that's what forex is. So you're trading currency, real currency. And the forex market also closes and open. It closes. The forex market is it closes on Friday, right? It closes on Friday and opens, at least for the US market, right? It closes on Friday and opens on Monday. That's why you get it's like, oh, the US market closed at this, or yet it's like the Nigerian market closed at this. Because over Nigeria, we also have our own market as well. And the Nigerian market closed at this and it's going to open at this. There's a closing and opening. So it's closes on Friday. It goes, the forex also is like a 9 to 5. So forex goes to work Monday to Friday, and then spends weekends with the family. But that's just a joke, anyways. Okay. So yeah, that's forex. That's who a forex analyst is, and that's what a forex analyst does. And just like your weather forecaster, for a weather forecaster does not just go to bed one night and then wake up the next morning and tell you, oh, I think it's going to rain. No, there are so many things they do. There are so many scientific calculations that are carried out, right? That tells you that, okay, no, the people telling you, reading the weather news on the people reading weather news on Arise or whatever, those are not the actual forecasters. Okay, those are newscasters. The actual forecaster is a scientist. So they just get this information from those people. Sometimes maybe you can even go on Google and search for these things and come and tell you the news. So they are not the actual forecasters. Scientists are the weather forecasters that use different tools and calculations and graphs and precipitation. Probably use maybe, I don't know the tools they use. Probably try to capture humidity from the atmosphere and calculate what's happening and what's going to happen, all of those kind of stuff. So what I'm saying is that for you to forecast the weather, there's a lot of analysis that will need to be carried out. For you to forecast the weather, there are a lot of things you need to do. It's not just go to bed and decide that, oh, it's going to rain today or not. And that's the same thing for a forex analyst. For you to succeed as a forex analyst, you also need to carry out several kind of research. You need to use several tools. You need to work with several things for you to be able to what? For you to be able to forecast that, okay, this is what I think is going to happen. Everything I've said so far can be summarized into, certain things. Just give me a moment, please. Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. So, everything I've been saying so far can be summarized into certain things. Number one being that you have to study the market. A forex analyst has to study the market. It's not go to bed and wake up and you say, no, you have to study the markets. Just like a weather forecaster has to do his due diligence, that's the same thing for a forex trader, forex analyst. And then the next thing is what? You have to use technical analysis. There's a technical analysis, then the fundamental analysis. The technical analysis is talking about you taking a look at charts, you taking a look at patterns, you're understanding, okay, this is what I think is going to happen based on the graph, all of those things. Those things are done with tools. And we're going to take a look at those tools as well. So you use technical analysis, and then you also move to what? You predict an opportunity. So based on the analysis you've carried out, you're now saying, okay, I think that based on my analysis, this is what's going to happen. And then you might forecast that, let's say the USD is going to rise against weaker currencies. Maybe you, from your analysis and from taking a look at the news, fundamental analysis is taking a look at economic news. Okay, you've taken a look at economic news, you're listening to the news, you're doing your research, you're finding out what's happening in different economics. Maybe you notice that in the US, Donald Trump wants to do something, and you feel that based on this, maybe he wants to increase interest rates. That's the Bank of America, I believe it's called. They want to increase interest rates. There's rising inflation, and due to rising inflation, they want to increase what? Interest rates to prevent people from borrowing. So you reduce the amount of money in circulation, and then you drop down the inflation. Okay, so usually when there's inflation, you see countries trying to raise interest rates. When they talk of interest rate, they're talking about, so if you want to go borrow from a bank, you pay more. Okay, you pay more in terms of your interest. So you notice that, oh, the US is in recession. That means that this bank wants to increase, the Bank of America, please, is it Federal Reserve? I've forgotten the name of the bank. Okay, so they want to increase interest rates. Based on that, an increase in interest rates might mean that, oh, we're going to have an increase in the dollar, an increase in the price of the dollar, or we're going to have a decrease in the price of the dollar, depending on your analysis. And then based on that information, you then carry out your prediction. So you can see that's a lot of work. So that is what the forex analyst will do. And of course, you can either decide to, advise traders or trade yourself. Because as a forex analyst, you have forex analysts that work in different organizations. You have forex analysts that work in banks. If you go on Glassdoor, you don't need to take my word for it. I don't know if you guys know Glassdoor. Glassdoor is a website for getting jobs, like LinkedIn, Indeed, all of that. If you go on Glassdoor, you can even go on LinkedIn even and search for forex roles in Nigeria. You'd see that the actually roles open up. Banks are employing forex analysts. Because at the end of the day, remember there's something I mentioned earlier. I said that banks also invest. They use your money to invest. And when they get returns, they give you a tiny percentage. So as a forex analyst, you can either advise traders of that if you are working for other people, or trade yourself, which I believe many people are looking to do. So you can recommend, okay, why don't I sell the euro or USD? So since the dollar is strengthening, or let me buy the USD or the Japanese yen, since I'm betting that the yen will weaken. So remember, it's all about currencies. You're dealing with currencies. So that's what who a forex analyst is. Everything I've been saying so far, we can take a practical example. A practical example is that, let's say that interest rates are going to be increased. Like I said earlier, you notice that for this particular country, interest rate is going to be increased due to inflation and all of this kind of stuff. And then what do? The next thing you do is that you go ahead to study the market. So you notice that there's going to be an increase in the interest rates. Then you go ahead to study the market. And then after studying the market, you use your technical analysis to analyze, okay, what's going to happen? Are we going to have an increase? Are we going to have a decrease? Should I buy dollar? Should I sell dollar? Should I buy yen? It's not only dollar, okay? There are so many currencies. How many currencies do we have in the world? There are so many, okay? So should I buy this? Should I sell this? Should I buy this? Should I sell this? And then based on that, you make your prediction. You make your prediction. So that's it. That's everything I've been talking about so far. That it can be summarized into these 4 things. So what do you need to know to be a forex analyst? What do you need to learn to be a forex analyst? Because remember, I've said several things. I said that to be a forex analyst, it's a skill. It's not just download this, download it. It's a skill. So there are things that you have to learn. There are things you have to do to be a forex analyst. And the things you have to learn, you have to begin with introduction to forex trading. Because you have to understand what forex trading is all about. And I just gave you a quick, but this is just a quick glimpse. Okay, it's a bit deeper than this. So you have to understand what forex trading is all about, and then you go into the core trading concepts. Okay, then you understand MT4 integration and navigation. You take a look at your technical, your fundamental, and sentimental analysis. I believe someone also said sentimental analysis to the group chat earlier. Right? Then you understand support and resistance levels, your candlestick and chart patterns, your leverage lot size and spread, and then you move to your risk management strategies, your advanced trading strategies, your Fibonacci levels, pivot points and Elliott waves, your time frames and confluence, and then you also learn how to generate trading signals. All of these things might be a bit strange, but you need to know each and every one of these things for you to say, oh, yes, I'm a forex trader. For you to say, oh, yes, I'm a forex analyst. For you to go out there and start making trades and start making some money. The tools that you'll be working with, the tools that you need to know how to use, you have your MT4, your trading view, or your MT5. So MT5 is a newer version of your MT4. And then you have your MEX Global, okay, and your Forex Factory. These are tools that you need to learn. Every tool has what they are used for. Some tools are used for speculation. Some tools are used for your technical analysis. Some are used for the actual trading. And then some are also used for your practice simulations. All of these things I've mentioned, they are not just ideas, they are practical. It's not just saying, oh, what is a candlestick? This. No, you work with all of these to actually understand this is what a candlestick is, this is what it is, this is how to identify this, what the chart looks like, this is what the pattern looks like. So these are the things that you get to learn. These are the things that you have to know. And so how will you also learn? How will you also learn? You get to learn for 2 months. The 2 months. You have a 1 month of learning, and then you have a 1 month of mentorship. The 1 month of learning involves you understanding all of these technical aspects. You understand all of these technical things. You understand, okay, what is the practical? And of course, we mean by practical simulations. I mentioned this earlier because you don't want to just start listening to theory all over and over. That is not going to give you the knowledge you need for you to be able to get into the space. So that's 1 month. You learn how to use the tools. You learn how to use the tools. You have your practice simulations. You become a full-fledged forex trader partly, okay, because you also have that 1 month mentorship. And during your 1 month mentorship, then you have all of those sessions. And remember, I talked about navigating financial investments, because you don't also just want to dump all your eggs in one basket. That you just take all of your money, your 100% income. As soon as you receive salary at the end of the month, just take the entire money and dump it into forex. Okay, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So you have to understand, okay, so how can I split my income? What month you going to this? What you going to this? You get to have those trading analysis that I talked about. Your one-on-one session where you can go ahead to book. You can go ahead to book a session. So you book using a calendar link. You open up the session and then you take a look at the time that you are free and the time that the facilitator would also be free. And then you book a session and then you join a one-on-one session with the experts, and then you get to ask questions and all of that, ensuring that you have that mentorship that you need. So that's how you learn. You get to learn for 2 months. And then, of course, the time for the classes. You have classes on Saturdays and you have classes on Sundays. Real classes, not Telegram classes. Okay? Real classes where you join a session, a Google Meet session, then you're learning, you're working on practicals, you're trying out things, you're asking questions, all of that. And then you also have the classroom where the recordings are sent, the materials, the slides, all of that will be in the Google Classroom, which you would have access to. So you get to learn about on Saturdays. You have classes from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's West African time. And then on Sundays, you have classes from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. West African time, for that entire 1 month. And then moving on to the other 1 month where you start your mentorship, and then you start testing out things before so you become fully fledged and you start achieving the goals that you actually did set out for yourself earlier. So that's about forex analysis. That's about forex analysis. That's what it means to be a forex trader. What about a sport analyst? Sport analyst. This is a term that we probably heard of before, but we don't know what the meaning is. What sport? What sport? Okay, I'm sure we've heard of sport before, but we're wondering what sport? Okay, so who is a sport analyst? What does it mean to be a sports analyst? A sports analyst is actually what? A sports analyst is actually a crypto analyst. So in sports, you have different aspects, and crypto is one of them. Where a sports analyst, a sports crypto analyst is like a gold trader. People that trade gold, gold, where you buy gold and you keep gold. And then when gold increases, you sell and you get profits. That's crypto. So crypto, being a crypto analyst, a sports crypto analyst, a sports trader, what you are doing is that you analyze cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and we can see that over the government. I showed you earlier that the new ISA Act, by the new that's Investment and Securities Act that was just signed just a few days ago. So now you buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. You analyze. You don't just go ahead and buy. That's the mistake people make. That's the mistake I made earlier. Okay, just go ahead and buy. No, you don't just go ahead and buy. Bitcoin is the one that everybody's shouting, ho, 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 ho. But you have to be wise going into the market. So you have to also carry out analysis, just like the forex trader. And then after you've carried out your analysis, you've been able to detect, okay, I think that this coin is going to increase. What do? You buy the coin and you keep the coin. Okay, you buy and you keep the coin. And then after you've kept the coin, after a while, the coin increases and then you sell. That's why transactions are instant. Transactions are instant. Unlike the forex market where you it's 24/5. Forex is 24/5. That's 24 hours in 5 days. Crypto is 24/7. The crypto market is always on. You can always sell or buy at any time. So you instantly, so once the price goes up, if you sell immediately at that time, you are going to be selling at the current price. So it's like you buy low, sell high. That's for sports. That's for the sports analyst. But you don't just go out there and start buying and just buy and expect that it's going to go high. Because then in the crypto space, you have things called meme coins. And meme coins are very dangerous. Meme. It's like a meme, meme, funny things. Meme coins. Meme coins are coins that, okay, today, I think I explained this in one of my other sessions. Okay, I don't think we're gonna have the time for me to go in depth on what meme coins are all about and why they are dangerous. For some people, they can make profits from meme coins, but the people that only make profit from meme coins are like 10%. The other 90% just lose. In fact, not 10%. Like, let's say people that make profit are like 2% or 4%, and the other 96% they lose a lot of money. But in other sessions would have, I'll explain in detail what meme coins are all about, and how to ensure that you're in the right path and for you to know what to do. So people make money from meme coins. That's they buy immediately, it goes up, they sell immediately before it comes down. But yeah, I know you might be confused about what meme coins are all about. You can get access to the recording of my previous session, so you get to just watch through and understand what meme coins are. On the subsequent sessions, but also going to treat that. Okay. But yeah, so that's what the spot crypto analyst does. So everything I've said can be summarized into certain things, right? From market research, so you study price trends, blockchain activity, and news affecting crypto assets, to your technical analysis, where you analyze charts, patterns, and indicators to predict price movements. Is this going to increase? Is the price going to increase or not? And then you have your fundamental analysis, where you examine factors like adoption rates, regulations, and project updates for you to know coins that are going to be going up or down. An example of fundamental analysis would be taking a look at news from different organizations. For example, then when Elon was very, very much invested in crypto, he's still invested in crypto, but at the moment he's quite focused on Dodge. That's the Department of Government Efficiency, okay, in the US. I don't know if you guys follow US news, but yeah, Elon is now in the government. But I think he resigned like two days ago. Yeah, so I always keep myself abreast with current world news for obvious reasons. I'm sure you know. So for fundamental analysis, you're taking a look at the adoption rate, the regulations, the project updates of different of companies, different organizations, for you to understand things that are going to happen and things like that. And then you have risk management. You have to assess market conditions to advise traders, or in this case yourself, on when to buy, sell, or hold. Okay, you have to also understand that. When should I buy? When should I sell? When should I hold? Sometimes you might be saying, okay, for my projections, I know that this coin is going to increase even more. You hold. So you buy, so you sell later, you make more profits. But you have to understand the things. You have to understand everything, because you could go ahead and hold, and then after you've held, the price goes down and you lose. There's this trend that goes out there, in the Sigma. I love to say Sigma Bros because I don't think I'm a part of the Sigma Bros, right? When they talk about diamond hands, like don't tell, like, just forget about all of that. Understand the concept and try to make your own decisions. So that's what sports analyst that's what a sports analyst does, right? And when I talk about sports analyst, I'm also referring to a crypto analyst. So for you to be a sports analyst, things that you need to understand, things that you need to learn. Of course, you have your introduction to sports trading. You have to understand sports trading on centralized exchange and also trading on decentralized exchange. Centralized and decentralized exchanges are two different things. Centralized exchanges are controlled by the government. Decentralized exchanges are not controlled by the government. So you have to understand, okay, how can I trade on both? What are the benefits, the disadvantages, all of those things. You have to understand how to staking, your yield finance, your narratives and research, and also your risk management in trading. Very, very important. You have to know how to manage risks. Then you're trading stocks versus trading crypto, and also how you can trade stocks on traditional markets. We'll also show you how you can trade stocks in the sports analysis program. And the tools that you learn how to work with, beginning with your coin Gecko, and then you have your dex screener. Of course, you have to learn Binance because Binance is the exchange, but Binance is not really difficult. It's just for you to know how to navigate. Things you really don't need to understand is your coin market, your coin Gecko, your dex screener. Then you have to understand your XNES, your coin market cap, and also your Bamboo when it comes to your stocks. For you to be a sports analyst, you need to know all of these tools because with a deck screener, that's how you're going to be able to take a look at different coins, try to and okay, is this coin a meme coin and all of this kind of stuff. So it's not just Binance and go and buy and sell coins. No. So you can see that the tools needed for you to be a sports analyst are different from the tools needed for you to be a forex analyst. So you have to understand, what path do I want to get into? Do I want to get into path A or do I want to get into path B? And they are both equally amazing with their own strategies. And similarly, as the forex analyst, the learning timeline also 2 months, where you have 1 month of learning and 1 month of mentorship. So you get to learn for 1 month, and then you have mentorship for 1 month to give you everything you need for you to be able to succeed. And of course, classes are on Saturdays 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. What? And Sundays from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. West African time. So, but how do we position you for success? Because something that we might be wondering, okay, so Aisha, sir, I get what you're saying. So this is what forex analysis is all about. This is what sports is all about. Okay, I now understand the differentiation. I understand that the federal government at the moment is now has now signed crypto into law. That's basically what has happened with the Investment and Securities Act of 2025. So I understand things now. But really, why will I be successful? Because even if I earn, let's say I earn ₦1 million per month, okay, per month, I'm a big boy, I earn ₦1 million per month, or maybe I earn 100,000 or 200,000 per month, whatever the case may be. Oh, I have a family of 5 and I earn 200,000 or I earn 300,000 naira per month. So at the moment, why should I now get into crypto? Or why should I go ahead and start investing in digital assets? Because even I've heard what you've said. You said that, okay, you have to have a great portfolio, your money should be diversified, all of this kind of stuff. So even if I decide that I want to invest 20,000 naira, okay, 20,000 naira in forex or in crypto, why should I do it? How will I know I'm not going to lose the money? Because after all, with that 20,000 naira, at least I can get you can get 2 about beans, I believe. How much is beans now? I don't know if it's more expensive now. How much is a mobile of beans? Okay, I don't know if with 20,000 you can get 2 mobile beans. But get what I'm saying. So, because at the end of the day, the 20,000 is your pocket. But if you go ahead and invest and you lose, then the money is gone. Yes, at the moment, you might be expecting me to give you an answer like, oh, yes, it's true. But what about if you make the money? What about if you're able to double your investment? Because yes, that can happen. But that's something we've heard so many times, and I don't want to use that route. So I'm going to show you something else instead. How we position you for success to increase the likelihood of you eventually getting another stream of income in addition to your 9 to 5. Or like I say, if maybe you decide that, okay, you've been able to understand the market, you're making good money from this, you want to quit your 9 to 5, whatever decision you make. How are we going to position you for success? Easy. The first thing that we do is what? Is to ensure that you understand that for you to be successful as a forex analyst or as a sports analyst, it's not just about understanding the skills. It's not just about knowing how to use Binance, like I said, or Octa trading, or knowing how to work with even Dex Screener or Trading View. It's not all about knowing how to work with these tools alone. There are certain things that you also have to know. There are certain things you also have to do. You have to complete the success equation. I like to call it the success equation. And what is the success equation? For you to succeed as a forex analyst, or for you to succeed as a sports analyst, you need to complete the success equation. And what's the success equation? The success equation is TS plus TPRM. We are back in math class. Okay, TS plus TPRM. What is TS? What is TS? TS is your what? Your technical skills. And TPRM is your trading psychology and risk mastery. When you combine these two things together, that is what will get you what? That is what will get you success. Your TS plus your TPLM. If there's not, you're forgetting about everything right now, not remember TS plus TPLM. That's what will get the success. Whereby you're making more profits than losses. Okay, so you make 100,000 naira profits, and maybe you make, let's say, maybe 20,000 naira loss. That's 80,000 naira in your pocket. Because again, I'm not going to feed you fables. I'm not going to come in here and start telling you fables that, oh, it's you're not going to make losses. Okay, everyone loses. That's investments. That's just investments. I've already explained what investments are, earlier. So that's it. So now you getting the technical skills is sure. When you join our programs, you are going to get the technical skills. That's not the problem. You're going to get all of the skills. You're going to learn all of the tools that you need to learn. I talked about desk spinner to trading view to coin market cap, depending on the program that you do decide to go for. You are going to get the skills. But we are very much interested in your success. What we define as success is when Chubi has been able to say, oh, thank you very much, Clydell. I've been able to every month now, I know that I'm going to get at least an extra 100K. I'm going to get an extra 50K, and I'm just trying to keep, mention low figures, right? An extra 100K and an extra 50K from Forex, and then I'm going to get this, That's what we define as success. And of course, someone say, oh, yes, I was able to make this amount of money with Forex, and I've been able to understand how to navigate through, understand how to navigate things. That, okay, when I'm losing this money, I need to take a break and just try to do some other things. Things like that. That is what we define as success. When you've been able to achieve the goal for the reason why you joined Claudio. And due to that reason, in addition to the skills that you'll be learning, something else that you are going to be getting, starting with, number one, the one-on-one session with experts. I talked about this earlier, about the 6-step strategy. So while we've seen the strategy that you need for you to be able to get success, to be successful as a Forex analyst, to get a passive income, just like we saw earlier, these are the things that we also offer you. When you have that one-on-one session with experts, like I said, you can go ahead to book a session with an expert, and you join that session. You get to ask questions, get advice. Talk about, okay, so at the moment I'm bringing in 200,000. What do you think I should do? Just getting that general advice, okay? And again, at the end of the day, it still depends on you to take a decision, right? But maybe you just need someone to tell you what they think. Then you can have that session, and then you have the live trading analysis, which I talked about, where you are trading with other experts, you're trading with your colleagues, you're trading with facilitators, you're bringing ideas together. The trading analysis is not just, oh, I'm going to click on this, one click on this. No, that's not what we're doing. Okay, but rather that you guys are bringing ideas together. Okay, this is what the facilitator will be like. This is what I want to do, and this is the reason why I want to do this. What do you guys think? Do you have maybe there's something you've seen that day that the facilitator did not see, and then you can bring ideas together and try to think of the best course of action. That's number two. Then number three, something else you'll be getting is navigating financial investments. We're bringing in experts, people that have experience when it comes to investments, to come into sessions and tell you, okay, this is how the best way for you to invest in 2025. You should put 20% in savings or put 50% in savings, maybe get some money for emergencies, put this in Forex, and put this in maybe you have maybe a side project you're working on, put this in that. You want to listen to people tell you the right way for you to invest, because again, our goal is to ensure you achieve success, and any way possible that we can ensure that is the case, we ensure that is the case. Then we have your the market rundown. The market rundown is a session where you get to join it's a session that happens, right, bi-weekly, where you get to join in and you get to listen to updates about current market news related to crypto, Forex, and all of that. So we get all of this news, and we have a session where we just go through them. So in case maybe that day you were not able to do your research, you were not able to find things, we have that session where we'll show you everything that's happening in the market, so you know whatever decision you want to make in terms of your investments. For example, the bill that was signed, the act that was signed today or yesterday, again, like I said, it's not yesterday or today, that's the ISA act that was signed. Trust me, that's going to have an influence when it comes to the Nigerian stock market and also crypto. because that will give people more confidence in buying more coins, and that will lead to an increase in the price of the coins. This is just my speculation. Again, I'm just making a quick prediction. I'm not saying you should go and buy coins, okay? So I'm just making a quick prediction. You can do with that whatever it is you think you want to do with that, but that's just based on current news, right? Current economic news. Because the people that were scared before, oh, I don't want to get into this, but now they're seeing that the government is actually now signing, it is supporting this. It now gives them that confidence, right? So that's the market rundown, where we get to take a look at things like this. And then we have the alumni community. An alumni community that makes sense, not an alumni community where where you're just saying things you don't understand. So you've learned, you've gotten your mentorship, you've started trading, and then join an alumni community for when there maybe there are news updates. And yes, signals would also be sent, but signals with explanations, because now you understand the signals, you understand what they mean. So you get to understand all of these things. You're asking questions. You have people, like-minded people. Maybe someone made a trade yesterday and they got a certain amount of profit, and they tell you, oh, this is what I did. Maybe you want to replicate the same, so you make some money. So you know that you're actually in the alumni community with people of like minds, and not people that no offense to the Gen Alphas, no offense to the Gen Alphas, but you're not in the community where all people are doing is maybe sending pictures of a house that cost $1 million and telling you that, oh yes, I bought this house just 2 days after I got into crypto. If you're not buying the house, you don't know what you're doing. Okay, but a community that makes sense, the Kleiner alumni community. So you get to be a part of that as well. All of those things we have put in place to ensure that you get success. Because, like I said, what our goal at Kleiner is to position you for success in achieving the goals that you do want to achieve. So, in all of this, the way you also learn, remember I talked about the fact that you learn with the classroom. You have the Go classroom, you have the community. And when I say community, I'm not talking about your alumni community. I'm talking about the community for your cohort. You have the community, and then on the Go classroom, you have your materials, the recording of every session. Everything is properly arranged. So maybe you want to go through past recordings of classes that you might have missed, or maybe you just want to have a recap. You can do that at any time you please. And then you have the community where you can speak with the facilitator, you can speak with the coordinator that would also be with you in ensuring that everything you need is available in terms of the links to join sessions and all of that. And of course, the links will also be added to your calendar. So yeah, so that's about it. And our next course begins on the 6th of June. So for you to be a part of our next course, because I'm sure from everything that I've said so far, this is very, very exciting, okay? And you want to be a part of Kleiner. That's the reason why you're on the call at the moment. So our next course starts on the 6th of June. 6th of June. 6th of June. So for you to be a part of the next course, what do you need to do? It's simple. All you have to do is to go ahead to register. So that's all you have to do. You go ahead to register. And at the moment, the registration fee is 50,000. At the moment, okay, that's the full amount, 50,000. So for either of the programs, either for the first analyst program or for the sports analyst program. And at the moment, we are currently running a discount for the first 20 persons to register, so you get a 20% off. And what you get to pay instead is 40,000. And that's only if you are part of the first 20 persons to register. So you get that 20% off. Okay? So the link to make payments will be sent to the chat box by my colleague. But I'm also going to take you through what the payment platform looks like. Okay, so this link will be sent over to the chat box, and I think I'm also just going to copy this. I'll send it to the chat box in case maybe you want to you want to make payment right now, so you're a part of that discount. Okay, so that's the link to make payment. That's the main stack, the Planner registration hub. So just give me a moment. So I pull up my screen. Okay, great. So as soon as you click on that link, it's going to take you to the Kleiner registration hub. It's going to bring you over here. All right, the Kleiner registration hub, and this is where you get to. There are different things you can do. So maybe you're about to make payments and you're having issues making payments. You can click on Chat with Kleiner. So there's someone at the there's someone on the back end that's ready to answer your questions, whatever clarity you need. Maybe you're having issues making payments and you need someone to assist with that. There's someone on ground to assist you. So you can click on that to go ahead to chat with any one of Clientel members, right? And then over here you can get access to our program brochures. Now our program brochures offers you to give you insight as to what you're going to be getting from every program. I'm just going to show you what it looks like real quick. So once you click on that link, it will bring you over to the brochures, and over here you'd see the forex analyst brochure. Okay, so you see the forex analyst brochure, and you get to understand what the program offers from start to finish. Just trying to zoom out, so you get to understand what the program offers from start to finish, what forex is all about. Right. All right. So you get to understand what Forex is all about, and then what you're going to be getting, the program overview, why become a Forex trader. You take a look at the curriculum in depth. You have an understanding of the curriculum, and then you have the roadmap, and then you also have, you know, the learning journey, all of that. So you get to understand what the program offers from start to finish. Okay, so this is something that you can also take a look at, so you have on a better understanding. And of course, you also have the Clientel Sports Analyst brochure over here that you can also take a look at as well. Just trying to open that up. So yeah, so you can go through the brochures. So once you click on the get access to our program brochures, it's going to pull up that, so you have an understanding of what the program offers from start to finish. And of course, you can also share that with any other person that you feel will be interested. And like I said, the discount is currently running, so it's only for the first 20 persons to register. Only for the first 20 persons to register. As soon as we get to that amount, it's going to go back to the original fee, which is 50,000. So what you want to do, you want to ensure you go ahead to register as quickly as possible. So all you need to do, you scroll down, and over here you're going to see Visit Store. Okay, so you see Visit Store, you click on Visit Store, and it will bring you over to the over here where you can go ahead to make payments. Just give me a moment. Okay, since my bandwidth is a bit low, just wait for this to load up. Okay, anyways, while we wait for this to load up, so once this opens up, what you're going to see is you're going to see the cost, and of course the cost fee. Like I said, the discount is still running, so what you're going to see in there will be 40,000. And then all you need to do, you click on pay. So once you click on pay, you insert your details. That's your details being your name, your email address, and then of course you're paying with the just. I would have loved for this to open up so we can take a look together. I don't know why it's taking time. Just try refreshing. Okay, so okay, so yeah, so still waiting for that to open up. So anyways, when it opens up, what you'd see the costs, like I said, you see the price, and then you click on that. It would then ask you for your name and for your email address. So once you click on that, then the payment platform will pop up where you can pay with your card. So you can insert your card details, and you go ahead to make payments. So as soon as you make payments, the next thing that would happen, a receipt would be sent to you via email. The receipt will be sent to you via email. And in addition to that receipt that will be sent to you via email, a link would also be sent for you to complete your registration. So once you click on that link, it will open up the registration form for you to upload your receipt and fill in the details. Okay. And yeah, so you can either do that by clicking on the you can either do that by clicking on you can either complete your registration by clicking on that link, or you can come over here and click on upload your receipt. Yeah, talking about this. So you can click on upload your receipt here, and then you get to upload your receipt. And then once you upload your receipt, after uploading your receipt, you get a confirmation email from Clientel confirming your payment. In addition to your program kits, your program kit will contain everything you need to be a part of the program, from the links to join the community to also join the Go Classroom. And then, of course, you wait for your onboarding session. And after your onboarding session, you start having your classes. Okay, so that's how you make payments. Unfortunately, I think this is taking some time to load up. So if this loads up before the end of the session, I'm still going to show it to you guys. Okay, so you want to ensure you go ahead to register as quickly as possible. Like I said, the discount is only for the first 20 persons to register, and tick says the clock, so you want to ensure you jump on that as quickly as possible, so you don't end up paying the full amount. Okay, so I think we have I have questions, so I'm going to take questions now. Believe we had an amazing session. I know that I did. Okay, I believe we had an amazing session. I know I did. I've learned a lot and seen the current realities. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I can see caller has a question. So caller, I'm just going to give you permission to unmute so you can ask your question. Okay, so you can go ahead, caller. Hello, caller. Do you have a question for me? I see your hand is raised. Okay, if you have a question, just go ahead and ask. Okay, I've given you permission to unmute. Okay, so any other person that has a question, you can use the raise hand icon, okay? And I will answer your question. Are you there, caller? Okay, so I don't think, I don't know if that's a mistake. Probably that's a mistake from caller. Okay, so any other person has a question, or are we good to go? Okay, so it seems you are good to go. So yeah, this is going to be it for now. Please, in case if you have any questions, or you have any you want to get any sort of clarification, don't hesitate to reach out to us. So you can contact us on these details. You can send us an email. You can follow us on social media, and of course, ask your question, and an answer will always be provided. Thank you again, everyone, for joining the call today. I believe you had an amazing time. Again, like I said, I know that I did for one. Okay, so till next time, I will see you guys. And something that we tell our kids, I'm going to tell that to you as well. Something that I know we tell our kids, and that is quick says the clock. Whatever you have to do ensure you do quick. Okay, go ahead and register and be a part of the early bird discount. I'll see you guys some other time. Cheers for now.
Yeah,
Bye.
sorry, caller said he has a bad network, so probably if he wants
Okay.
to send the question he has to
The
the
question.
chat box.
Okay. Yeah, that would work. Caller, if you can send your question to the chat. Okay, if you can send your question to the chat box, that's fine. Okay, so while caller sends the question to the chat box, I'm going to show us the I was talking about. Yeah, I'm going to show us the Kleiner store. It wasn't loaded earlier, so it has finally come up. So yeah, so once you click on the visit store, right, it's going to bring you here. It brings you here, and over here you see that you have the two different programs. So you can see we are still running the discounts at the moment. So let's say you want to register for the sports analyst program. All you need to do, you select sports analyst. So once you select sports analyst, it brings you over here. And the great thing about this is it doesn't matter your location. So maybe if you're in Ghana, you're in South Africa, it doesn't matter your location. Okay, you can go ahead to make payments because the system will take note of your currency. So if you're paying in pounds, for instance, if you're paying with pounds, at the end of the day, it's the amount will be converted to pounds. So you don't need to have a Nigerian naira and vice versa. Okay, maybe you're paying in CDs. You don't need to have a Nigerian naira. You can pay in CDs, and the system will do the automatic conversion for you. So once you come over here, you see reserve a seat. Okay, you see reserve a seat. So the next thing you do is that you click on secure your seat. So after clicking on secure your seat, then you get to insert your name. So let's say it's asking for my name. So let's say my name is Aishusa, and then it's asking for my email. So I'm going to say that's my email address. And for my phone number, I'm just going to insert some random phone numbers. Just so let's say. Okay, so while I'm going through this, I'm also waiting for caller's question. I think caller dropped off. So let's just insert some random number. So let's say this is my phone number, and then I'll go ahead and click on pay for product. So once I click on pay for product, then it pulls up this page. So we're just waiting for this to come up. So it pulls up this page, and then I can insert my my card details, or if I want to do a direct bank transfer, I can also do a bank transfer, right? And then I go ahead to pay. So like I said, once you make payments, what will happen? You get a receipt that will be sent to you via email. So once you get that receipt, a link would also be attached telling you to complete your registration. So click on the link and open up the form, fill in the form, and you get a confirmation email from us with your welcome kit. So you are a part of the program. I think caller dropped off. Okay, no problem. And, caller can always send this question to us via the group chat. And one other thing, in case maybe you are confused as to the program you want to register for, there's no problem. So if you go ahead, you can register for any program of your choice. And when you are filling the form, there's an aspect that's asking you for the program you paid for. So you just go ahead and select, I would like to speak with a professional. And what that would do for you is that it would you would be in a session, a one-on-one session with us. So you get to tell us, okay, your skills, what you want, and then we get to advise you on the program that you should go for. If maybe sports analyst is good for you, or maybe forex analyst, depending on the time and the time you have on your hands and things that you're looking at for. So you can also do that. So you don't have to make a full decision as to the program you want to register for before you eventually go ahead to make payment. Okay. So if you have any question, please feel free to contact us, and that'll be it for now. So yeah, I thank everyone and have a great day or a great evening, depending on your location. Bye for now.